Our next award is the Entrepreneur of the Year Award, sponsored by the law offices of Aaron Stewart. Please join me in welcoming Aaron Stewart. And Aaron, this is your size.
Yeah, last year I was up here. I had Dan Gonzalez with me, so I had somebody else that was short. So that was nice. And I'm sorry I can't be here again because we had a good time. This year, it's my pleasure to sponsor the Entrepreneur of the Year Award again. Last year, we honored John Streisauer for his work with several startup companies, including Trividia, Patholays, and he actually recently got clearance with the FDA for his work with Pinpoint Laser. So that's really great. The recipient of the award this year for the Entrepreneur of the Year embodies a perfect example, quintessential example of what it is to be an entrepreneur. Jeff Schlicht founded Octiva in 1998 to help expedite the eBay listing process. In 2000, Octiva acquired eBud, which was the leading application in auction management space at that time. In 2005, Octiva went worldwide when they changed from desktop software to a web-based auction management environment. This year, Octiva was actually acquired by Alibaba.com, seeking to provide users an integrated access to low-cost product sources through AliExpress, which is a global wholesale platform geared for smaller resellers seeking fast shipment of small quantities of goods. Bob, this is written worse than my contracts. Like, for the love of God, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, in any event, I actually had the benefit of sitting down with Jeff and talking about his business and about how he made it and how he sold it and all that. Jeff really is an entrepreneur, and he's an example for all of us, and it's a great pleasure of mine to present him with this award. So please congratulate Jeff Schlicht, the 2010 SEPCO Entrepreneur of the Year.
Okay, there's one. Can I get this a little bit? Nothing. Here.
Right here.
I just have to raise it a little.
Yeah.
So I guess there's one thing I've learned in the last 10 years is this time I'm going to thank my wife first, and then I'll, thanks to SEPCO and Bob and the law offices of Aaron Stewart. And, it's been a pretty wild ride the last about 6 months since this process started. And maybe at the end here, I'll try to put all that him job into actually what Alibaba does. It's a little simpler, but even when I was learning, it was a difficult thing to figure out because a lot of their stuff on their site is in Chinese. So, in a nutshell, what the portion is that bought us is they represent the factories in China. They have 800,000 customers that pay them to be in a directory of in a supplier directory so that other people that are looking to source pretty much anything, from raw materials down to, little bouncing balls, pretty much anything. And so that's the public part of the company. There's two other parts. There's basically a part that's like eBay, and there's a part that's like PayPal. So payments, a trading platform like eBay, and then the sourcing. So they really are a whole life cycle kind of company. In China, they're the biggest e-commerce company. They've been growing at near 100%. They're actually bigger than eBay in sales, and so as you can see, they're really one of the things that was interesting to me in this process was I think eventually where is e-commerce going to be, and these guys are at the forefront. They're growing really quickly, and they are going to grow into other places. So I felt like I was joining a part of the who was going to eventually be the winner in the space. So this is a great time to get on board with them. It's a good thing for me to be able to continue, with the entrepreneurial kind of thing, because we are more of a beachhead in the U.S. than just an acquisition. They're not acquiring us to cut costs and take jobs overseas. They're looking at us as an entry point to bigger and better things in the U.S. And in our particular case, we represent about 250,000 eBay sellers that use our products, and they would like our customers to source products from the factories in China directly, cutting out a lot of the middlemen that are typically in the process. So better margins for their factories, better margins for the eBay sellers, and of course a little profit in between for themselves. So that's basically in a nutshell what they do. And so now that I guess it took a little more than I thought it would take to say that. Who else is on my list? I guess you know, I have down here to thank Chico, and that ends up being a lot of people. The opportunity to move back here, and the 3 other employees that joined me coming back here, and their willingness to actually take that risk and come to Chico was a pretty big turning point. And I think you know, it was important that they liked the community. I mean, this was a draw to them. So two of those 3 are still with me. The third actually was an H-1B immigrant from Colombia that I had hired and was sponsoring, but due to the immigration process ended up moving to Canada, where it's a lot easier to immigrate to if you are an educated person. In the U.S., we typically don't like letting really highly educated people into the country. Those people, no. So since then, he moved to Canada. He's created the company there and now employs about 10 people. So yeah, it might have been here. Maybe he would still be working for me. Maybe he would have started something in the U.S. I guess I'll thank my bank, Wells Fargo. I would have thanked Butte Community, but who had actually they saved us a couple times. So, but they're not really around anymore. Well, I guess apparently they're Rabobank, so I'll say. But anyways, yeah, thanks again to Chico. Thanks to everybody at SEPCO, Bob, Aaron, at the law offices of Aaron Stewart. And hopefully I can take the opportunity that's kind of been presented and run with it. And was what was intriguing to me about this, and bring some of these jobs to the U.S., which is kind of the opposite of what you would think when a Chinese company buys a U.S. company. So thank you.